All right. It is that time. It is Friday at 1 o'clock. It is time for some Arcade Spirits. Gonna do level 6. Hit the lever. Up to this point, we had been having. We had a path going a couple different ways with Ashley and Queen Bee. It was agonizing. I'll probably have to go back and replay from the choice, but we did go with the numbers this time and with our personality. Went with Queen Bee, and that was a pretty nice interaction. Queen Bee said we are not looking for labels, so excuse me. I'll cough a bit here and there because I tried to, eat a snack right before the stream, which is always bad. But let's go ahead and jump on in. It's the future, 20XX, and my dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago, my dream involved being the event coordinator of Video Arcade, I'd have just stared at you kind of funny. Even now, it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here, I'm successful, I'm happy. And this is my dream. Ever since Wyvern Reborn, business has been booming. The Funplex is packed with players day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, the nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. I've run 3 events so far. We started rotating our games out of storage and into play. To keep things fresh, the high scoreboards are constantly shifting. To keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, Gavin's hinted that maybe we should start looking into a second location. Uh-oh. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me and it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. I'm happy, and that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. Wow, are you just setting everything up for horror? Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. This is like the worst setting yourself up. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Delivery guy, sign here, please. Huh? Bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. Snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope, heads right on to the door. No time for Moopy. Or around a pinball, it seems. Deliveries to make. Curious, I open it up. Ray Majors, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Deco's Palace with CEO Deco Nami. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free royal value swipe card available for an enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? Read through it a few more times, trying to parse all the curlicues and swirls and swooshes, although it doesn't clear my confusion on the whole matter. Soon Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to already have an idea what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double, huh? Rather at wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess, Dekonami of Deko's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. Not the first time he invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980X to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then in 1990X, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20XX and he's at it again. Is it? God darn it. Okay, I gotta stop doing this then. Because, okay, so when it's at the menu screen, it, when it's at the menu screen, it, I'm tempted to just start over. But anyway, when it's at the menu screen, everything moves around fine. You can do it and everything, but when you actually get in game for whatever reason, it stops working. So like when I was on the menu, it was fine. When I could move from things to, it was fine. But as soon as I actually clicked anything, it doesn't work. That's disturbing and annoying. I hate that. Anyway. No. There's no point in going back and starting over, so. A gentleman would know when to quit, but he's got tenacity and can't fault him for that. It should still be showing fine now, right? Except when I go over to check to see if it's right. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Dekonami care that much about us? We're small time. No offense. Come now, if anyone should be offended, it's you calling yourself small time right here. You've put in so much work to my little arcade store. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving and that's lured him back in. Like cheese in the mousetrap. I can't even say that. So wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese. Although I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh heavens no. Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation, always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. I thought he was like the arcade's secret greatest evil doer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound, but that's all they are, rumors. Politeness should be met with politeness. That's how all you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. I'm still mad at myself for that, because I knew that it was going to be a thing, and I'm like, no, it's working right now, I'll take it. And then I didn't bother to check it, because I got ahead of myself. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk. but pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly, that's all. Just out of breath. But Ray, I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. And I think you'd have a good time there. Well, since he invited us, actually, but he's probably trying to steal us away or something. Well, an interesting time at any rate. I'll look my dapperest for the villainous gentleman. Say no more. I'd be happy to represent the Funplex with dignity. Good, but remember, offer only as much respect as you are given. If you should be uncouth, you have my permission to be uncouth as well. There are many exploiters and users in this industry. Undoubtedly, Dekonami ranks in their number. So smile if he smiles, but use caution. So go there and turn him down. Got it. A slowness to respond is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is not sell the Funplex, right?
But I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home. The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
Your kingdom is mine to rule. This is your dream as well as mine. You're the one who started this place, Francine. You had a dream of a place where people can have fun, relax, make friends. I feel like even entertaining the idea of selling it is, well, it feels wrong, disrespectful to you and your dream. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980X thanks to changes you've made, so I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon and I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration. That's nothing if you're feeling pooped. You could take a few days off, go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow. Even if there's little work for me to do, I love being here. This is my true home. And you want me to keep an open mind about this deal.
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what it should be are often different things. I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it. No matter what you decide, I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Aww. I'll defend the Funplex with my life. Does it mean I can borrow the car? This is a bit over the top, but I think it fits. We'll go with this one. I never knew my grandmothers, either of them. They died when I was really young. I feel like you filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Ray. You'll always be welcome here. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Ray. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. Nope, still not keen to sell out my dream. I'll try to leave my option open and hear him out. Or arcades can't stagnate, maybe change is inevitable. I suppose we can try to leave the options open, right? But I'm kind of more head at the nope. But we'll listen to what Francine said. I think. Maybe. Definitely not going this route. This is weird. Seriously weird. All this work, all this effort, finally finding my dream, as strange as that sounds, and I need to consider dumping it all? But, well, maybe it's not selling out. I haven't actually heard Deku Nami's proposal yet, and if we somehow could partner with him on our own terms, that might be what we need to push Funplex over the top and placate a rival. We'd be a sister boutique of his department store. Still, I'm not willing to say one way or another. Not yet. We'll see. Now, who do I want to take as my plus one?
Beep, beep.
Want to come as my date? I'm your girl Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting. Yeah, I mean, Queen Bee is the obvious choice. I'm sure she'd have some opinions on Deko's palace. True, as part of the Funplex family, Queen Bee would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Queen Bee will support your decision either way. It's clear she trusts you. True. Okay then. Tough. It's got to come down to Gavin, Naomi, or Queen Bee, I think. And Gavin's really, hello, how's it going? Gavin, I mean, obviously, he knows his way around of the business itself, so he knows what the state they're in, but that'll slant his way a little bit, I think. And Naomi, obviously, she's passionate about games, but maybe hard to say. Of course, Queen Bee is our person we spend a lot of time with, which I can appreciate that. But Queen Bee's probably gonna be pretty gruff if anything comes up about selling the Funplex as well. So tough decisions. Percy's the businessman now. Percy might actually be the good person to take. But we don't really have much affinity with Percy. We'll just go we'll go this route for now. We'll probably have like 50 other playthroughs to go different directions, so. Tanvi's just devastated her last opponent. Now seems like a great time to interject. I'll wait her over. Or Tanvi. Tanvi. Yeah. Yeah. I looked it up the right way to pronounce it, but then I always, like, switch the wrong one in my head. Going, okay, I had the right one, but now I had the wrong one now. Everybody mispronounces it. Yes, exactly. And so it's like I wanted to get it right, and now I've gotten to the point where I've confused myself enough that I get it wrong. Hey Ray, did you see that victory just now? My skills have doubled since my newest training routine with the rest of the 4 Heavenly Kings. I'm nigh unstoppable. That you are, which is why I want your opinion on something. She smiles playfully, leaning closer to me, walking her fingers up my arm. I'll be sure to tell you my opinions on everything. She gently squeezes my shoulders. Yes, well, I will definitely want those opinions later. But for now, it's all business, I'm afraid. Fine, have it your way, Ray. I know you're not exactly an employee of the Funplex, but Dekonami wants to meet with me to discuss a business venture. Hopefully a mutually beneficial one, but... You honestly think that guy is going to play nice? He's got a horrible reputation among the local esports crowd. The incidents I could tell you about, the tournaments he's put on, are filled with toxic players, and they don't enforce the rules to condemn it or stop it or anything. They just let it all happen. I've had to hold myself back from starting brawls at misogynistic hecklers and rude players. Half the time, it's not even worth it, even if the price pool is double or triple anything else we could get here. So, you're anti-Deko's Palace. Got it. More or less, yeah. Regardless, I'd like you to come along with me. I know you'll tell me how it is, straight up, no sugarcoating. Oh, you know it. I've got something of a bone to pick with that place myself. More on that later. You'll see the problem for yourself, no doubt. I'll be straight with you, for certain. It means a lot knowing Tanvi's got my back. I'll pack up my streaming gear, freshen up a little, and be with you in a hot minute. Don't make a big deal out of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal out of this. We go there, study out how the place works, then make an informed decision. One way or another, the Funplex will be just fine. It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. .97% fine. Queen Bee offers to drive us across town to Deko's Palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car, and glitzy blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Queen Bee. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I've got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. Deko's Palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun. Maybe? See, and they're like the arcade at the at the beach. They've got mostly just like ticket games and stuff like that. They don't have very many games. But on entering as an adult, my first reaction is, boy, is this a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, geez, is it noisy? Visually noisy and sound type noisy, and all the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of light and bells and whiz-bangs. Pengy Mania! Gotta get all the pengies. The big one. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP Royal Value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend on. We've got a little over an hour to kill before meeting. Time to see what's what at the palace. Ah, breathe in that air, Ray. Can you smell it? I take a deep breath in and promptly start coughing. The smell of grease is so heavy my lungs suffocate. Why does the air taste like burnt oil? Because they rarely change the oil in the deep fryer. Yeah. That's not the only food safety violation this place has had either. Plenty of people have gotten sick from food poisoning. Yeah, I can imagine a place. The arcade fun center type places that are around here, they are not exactly the pinnacle of food service. Perhaps one day someone will burn the food so bad that the palace will literally on fire, and then the smell will become a pleasant aroma. But they can't just outright poison people? I wasn't hungry anyway. Ah, Deco's Palace. Come for the arcade action, leave with a horrible gastroenteritis. Thick. This is why I have to play. If I have to play here, I normally bring my own food. But seriously, food safety is no laughing matter, Ray. That's how people die. This smell's giving me a headache. There is definitely more story there. I'm gonna go wander off to the tournament area. It's farther away from the food, and maybe I'll recognize someone. As it is, you see it while you're here. See why I hate this place. I'll be over by Esports Tournament Arena. I suggest driving by. If not, I'll catch up with you later. Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? Want to see what sort of games they have? I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light, or try to line up the dots, or something. The really complex ones? 3 buttons.
Hey, listen.
Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off and I resume looking at Iris sitting on my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fists of Discomfort. We've got all those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really, and I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know, doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. You want to hit the tournament next, or you'll miss Queen Bee's opinions on it. Yeah, I figured I'd go to her next. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there, with the green lighting, head that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows. And find Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. I'm going to have to tell Percy about this when I get back. He'll be happy to know there's more than one Moopy in this neighborhood. Except, wait, it's only got one button. No joystick at all. Researching, one moment. Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself, or tries to anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Super Maze created 20X. A company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, that's weak. Yes, it is. Teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Teenage retro gamer. Hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever. Knock yourself out. Thanks, I'm the master of this game, you know? The master. The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets. No, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school represent. He extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal, always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex, we've got one. I'm the event coordinator there, I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me, I'll send you the address. Seriously? Yeah. You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old. Barely 10 years older than his kid, but whatever. We clink phones, exchange a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. Yeah, this definitely sounding bad. So, did he sell off all the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them, saw leftovers, smashed up bits of his pack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man,
wow.
This sucks.
Way the old man always 86's unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I mumble a thank you, then wander off a bit dazed. Think I've had enough of retro game avatar for now. For the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section near the back. I wander through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit being impressed. They've got no fewer than 10 Fist of Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro team jerseys and jackets. Crowds red hot cheering on their heroes as the back and forth resource battles of the world's most popular fighting strategy game plays out before them. Although the banner hanging above it all does make me shudder. Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Quench and Pizza Yums Friday Night Fisting.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
See, even these gamers know that when pizza's on a bagel, you can... Oh god, please no. I haven't had one of those in weeks, not since I started being able to afford real food. You just don't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining two of the greatest bread-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Now, I already had pizza lined up for last Monday, but I'm probably gonna go to the store this weekend and get some pizza bagels. Because every Monday is pizza night, and we probably need some pizza bagels. Hang on, I sense a disturbance in the crowd. Rando Calrissian. Oh, Rando, you got beat last time. What was that? I call hacks, you cheater. Two competitors step away from their game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now it's a full-on fight, like an actual awkward grapple and punch fight. Ah, kick his ass. Wow. Don't take that off from him. Destroy the mother. Violent altercation detection. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deko's Palace has security guards. They should be able to handle this. Two gamers both flail wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact, blood dribbling down the corner of the mouth. Any second now. Those people with black shirts that have security pinned across their chest just stand there letting it happen. No one is doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after half a minute of nonsense does the security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they finally pull apart. Wow, tough crowd.
Nope, no way.
And that's one of the many reasons why I hate Deko's Palace events, and 4HK has decided to never come here again. This whole place is a pit of fucking toxic masculinity. Losing the game. Time to roll aggro in real life, right? Right in someone's face. Gotta prove you're a real man. Most people I know that aren't ragey bastards hate playing here. There have been incidents, harassment, disrespect. It's awful. If the payouts weren't so ginormous, pros would completely avoid this place. But unfortunately, this is where the big actions are. Big action equals big money. None of these answers are good. Like, none of these answers are even remotely good. Because I completely agree with her, and everything else is not taking her seriously. This is a horrible answer. This is a horrible answer. And this is making fun of her. So, this is a horrible choices. I'm just gonna say. This is like the first time in what, 13 hours of playing, that this is just a horrible choice. So if someone smashes a beer glass in your face, does that count as workplace injury for insurance purposes? I can throw down in court just as hard as I throw down in FOD. I don't need to be wasting my time there. As far as I'm concerned, I'm judge, jury, and executioner. Frankly, when L7 made me attend one of these events, I tried to speak up about it, but they kept me quiet, hushed me with the threat of termination. L7 didn't want to be involved. They didn't want to speak up against the biggest esports venue in the nation. Felt it best to stay quiet. Bullshit. I'd rather not be here right now. I'll catch up with you later. I should probably get out of here before the next punch is thrown. Now what? Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deko's Palace has to offer, I'm cautiously hesitant. There's certainly some things we can work on, but maybe a partnership can smooth out these callous edges.
Beep beep.
Now 7 p.m. sharp. Dekonami is waiting for you. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. It's that time already. Time sure flies when you're having fun. Investigating? Fun-vestigating? I quickly sent a text to Queen Bee before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. Let sounds and sights of Deko's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind as I remind myself of what she told me on the first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going in there and do it. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Queen Bee. Second. Hey, how's it going? Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We are treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us, and we sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I suppose. A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. This is so weird. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with this special guest. Ow! Well, hopefully it comes back good. You should try their double-decker Deco Burger. Your arteries will harden just looking at it. Not sure I can stomach that. I'm too nervous about the meeting itself. Ooey gooey cheese, greasy bacon, sweaty, bloody patties, dripping with Deco's special sauce. And now I can feel the bile slowly crawling up my esophagus. Now you know exactly how I feel just being here. Wow. Since I'm obviously not 3 billion here, I'm going to sit back, play it cool, and drink as much champagne as they throw at us. But you want me to lay it on them, really stir up some shit, you just tag me in. I'll be waiting on the ropes. She might have not been the best choice. She's not exactly very... She's kind of just hanging back. She clearly doesn't want to be here. Which, I'm kind of on her side on that. Yeah, exactly. You got more League of Maidens to play. Exactly, see? But you want me to lay it on them... Oh, I already said that. Done and done. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than other families seated here who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kids' placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Ray Majors.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Likewise. It looks like a villain in a vampire game. Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920X mob boss despite a lack of fedora. Clearly he likes showing off his money. But still just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the Grand Poobah at Deco's palace, I pictured someone like where? Well, Hamza, yes. I offer a simple smile and nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. But that says, I am always happy to meet with, Queen Bee, you might have heard of me. I'm one of the 4 Heavenly Kings. I've heard much of your young organization. I'm interested to see if you can supplant your former masters at L7 Gaming.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Or Bond villain. Yeah, it could be a Bond villain. He's definitely got full-on evil villain look going. Yeah, she mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she politely declined.
Always a courteous woman she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade. Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
That's a big gorilla. Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs such as the Funplex. Interesting, maybe he does want a partnership, not a buyout.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership, in return for a very generous compensation package. One Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. Wow. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations, a best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited inside to host a full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We'd need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. I have answers. Let's see if they match up. New management means new staffing. What about staff we already have?
Good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Ms. Majors. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts. The fact that you've landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on after settling the bigger picture questions. Saw a few players fighting over a tournament. Well, it's a fighting game, is it not? As in fighting each other with fists in real life? I take it my correct security team intervened. Eventually, not before blood was drawn.
You understand, yes?
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. Yeah, whatever. They're instructed not to intervene until it's safe to intervene for all involved. I trust them to make that call, and I'll note we've not a single legal action pending. Not currently. I can see Tanvi getting fired up as we talk, but before I'm able to redirect the conversations, he stands up slamming her hands down on the table. It's no wonder why anyone wouldn't want to press charges. Pardon?
Come on!
Don't play coy. You get blackballed from Deco's Palace and you're out of some very major competitions. Anybody who complains gets banned. Care to explain what happened to Onslaught?
I don't follow.
I'm not familiar with the handle. He's a NorCal FOD player, a Kami of the Four Heavenly Kings, and a good friend of mine. She was one of your pending legal actions until you made it go away. Now she's banned from ever participating in a tournament. Not that she would want to anymore after how she was treated. My legal team only does what's necessary to uphold the law. I seriously hope you aren't insinuating that I don't treat all pro gamers with utmost respect. Envy growls, crossing her arms. Sits back in her chair. Whatever Deco said must have hit a chord and diminished her voice for now. There's something... Yeah, that's interesting. There was like that perfect phrase that backed her down.
As you like.
I see. Well, I'm more concerned with new business than old business, Ms. Majors. I don't know how to say that adjustment, honestly. I should, but I don't. If you don't mind refocusing on current events. I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier. One of our top earners with the 30-45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator, I found. There's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it, not repair, not restore, not even resell? Just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures, they're commodities. Back in 1986, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep those earning up, so old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP reborn as new games.
Think about this.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? And I mean, that's why arcade games are... There's not like millions of arcade games floating around in personal collections, right? Because they weren't... When they stopped making money, they were gone. Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. We would still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Obviously, I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. Not answering my question. Under a branding image, there are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be part of the Deco family. There's, like, nothing about this is even remote. Like, at this point, it feels like this chapter could maybe be skipped, but maybe there's something more coming on here. So, I mean, there's some good background here, but you know, once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run those kind of events. It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture, the chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
Definitely a Bond villain with those answers. Yes, exactly. Redfee said in his hand, bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. No, the hell no. Wasn't sure about this deal, but was willing to keep an open mind. After everything I've seen and heard, am I really going to shake that hand? I'm pretty much here. I know we were supposed to be polite. I just can't even... I know Francine would be disappointed, but yeah, no. I crossed my arms and under my chest defiantly. Not even for a hat made out of money. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Yeah, time's over. It'll be a cold day in hell when we sell our funplex to a money-grubbing bastard like you. Seen what you've got to offer, and I'm far from impressed. This place is a filthy hole, and I want nothing to do with it. So, Mr. Nami, you can take your oh-so-generous offer, turn it sideways, shove it straight up your ass.
I see.
Wow. Grip on the Walking King tightens to the point where I can hear his bones creak.
Very well. You too. You think your pathetic little pile of rotting wood and plastic actually stands any sort of threat to me? I am the arcade business. Me. Not you.
Almost every streamer picks respect. Yeah, I can't. I can't. I know we probably should, but I can't. Can't do it. This guy is awful. Everything wrong.
I was going to spare that broom closet you call an arcade. I was going to generously allow you to be part of something greater. But instead, I think I'll simply destroy you.
Now he's definitely doing the Bond villain stuff.
And I'm going to have fun doing it.
You want to stand up to me, Mr. Bond? You cannot. I will destroy you. I will take everything from you. How do you stand by your convictions? Yes, exactly. He sneers at me once before sharply turning around and peglegs his way out. What? What did I do wrong? Before I can inquire further, he crushes me in a giant hug.
Fantastic.
Never been prouder of you, Ray. Canvia wipes fake tears from her eyes.
Victory.
Fake tears? Oh man, that was one perfect moment of absolute ownage. I wish I'd caught it on my phone to save future generations to gaze upon and wonder. You for sure made the right call. 4HK are officially boycotting Deko's Palace after what they did to Onslaught. I would have hated to have abandoned the fun zone. But I think we better GTFO before they kick us out of here. We need to celebrate. Drinks on me, Ray. You've earned it. Hastily, we abandon the sinking ship and scoot right on out the door, barely slipping by before a crack security force notices. From there, it's a short jaunt across town back home. As I walk into an apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I stand there, my body too drained to move. Reflecting on how the evening's events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. I declared an arcade war. Seriously. There was open salvo and I foresee it only intensifying. Days ahead are going to be interesting to say the least. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness, my best friend Juniper. Just sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Dekonami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go negotiate.
What?
Deko is in Deko's Palace, Deko? The one and only. Whoa. How'd that go? I told him to fuck. Wow? Yeah, didn't know I had it in me, but wow, I just told a billionaire off. I am so dead. I'm gonna do everything in his power. He's gonna do everything in his power to destroy us.
Ooh.
But hey, that's a good thing. I mean, he's scared. It didn't sound scared to me, but he wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. There's not going to help with anything.
I've got it.
Why don't you take out your mind off things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, you just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me, trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep. Not working, can't sleep. Hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris sensor detect conversation. Ray, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep. But I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing. Just can't shake this feeling that I'm standing on a precipice right in front of this big dark hole. It's weird because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggests it's feel of failure based on years of prior examples. In short, you've got a long family history of everything always going wrong all at once. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. but worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So my suggestion is to get some rest and deal with the problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris off.
Iris offline.
Okay, remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep, and I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I've checked them after getting to Funplex. Yeah, that's a bad idea. I promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning. Now I've missed lunch even. Oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed. I mean, my keys still work, but they're closed for business. Sign is off, no gamers present or unaccounted for. Oh, okay. Quickly look around for some familiar faces. Yeah. That's what I was afraid of. I find only dark expressions and tears. My stomach starts to knot and I feel the color drain from my face as I see the downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down flat last night, so why is everybody so... Ray, it's Francine. Immediately a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. The news hits me like a slap in the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I tried to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. Told me I was family. Now she's gone. Naomi naturally looked to me, their beacon of hope, wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. Not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not sure if I can even formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters of strength from tip to toes. Look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. Francine, she was a wonderful human with even more beautiful heart. She had many happy years with her husband Frederick, decades spent here at the Funplex doing her best to make everybody smile and have a good time. I wish she could be with us now, and I can't help but smile when I think of how great a life she led, how happy she'd be with how it all turned out. Let's remember how she was beautiful. Francine will be missed. Yes, much crying.
Thank you.
Miss her so much, Ray. If Francine was here, your words would have made her so happy. Naomi writes a ragged sigh, a slight tinge of anger entering her sorrowful voice. After. Maybe it's for the best she's not alive to see what happened today. What? Before I get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing. As he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. Light Francine passing owner, illegal owner now is...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
Oh, really? What? Sorry, I was not entirely clear last night regarding the matter of your effing off. Oh, you were quite clear. I pity that. Confusion on my face is obvious. It makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on. The transaction paperwork, it's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her properties transferred to her surviving daughter. Mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place, and well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it, as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking the burden off their hands. This is so wrong. Now they can mourn and move on unfettered. Said they're not gonna get my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. How'd they do that so fast? That's ridiculous. They wouldn't even been able to do that legally yet. My mom passed like a few months ago. They couldn't have done this fast. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference out of sheer cruelty. I'd expected a war with Dekonami, but this wasn't a war, it was an all-out slaughter. A bloodless coup taking the Funplex right out from under us.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much. I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
And we're fired. Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costume mascot. I've been considering phasing them out of my other locations. No time like the present.
What?
Did you just fire me? Gavin, can you fire me like that? Ashley?
Let me explain.
For them, your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. Step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. I am not surprised. Behold my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you've good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you a I quit. Damn right. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
There's no room for Naomi or Ashley's dreams, mine in here as well.
As you like.
Given the opportunity to advance outside of the company, yes. My favorite real-world phrase I've seen applied. Yes. Yes, I've seen that as well. You can... We'd like to extend the offer to allow you to seek other opportunities. I've actually seen that one. Now, as for you...
You are, needless to say,
fired.
Or should I say, you are hereby invited to f*** off.
Good.
Yes. Yes, I think I'll say that.
Kick his ass figuratively, kick his ass literally, do nothing. Well, this is only gonna have problems. You're a human trash fire. One I wouldn't even want her to one I wouldn't even want to piss on to put out. If I ever see your smug, self-satisfied face again, I'm pretty sure I'll be introducing it to my own personal fist of discomfort. As you like.
Excuse me.
I'm afraid your time is up, and none of you are Deco's Fun Zone employees. I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques, straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless, but to be this cruel right in front of us while we're still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Moopy's Main doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Wyvern's Keep belongs to Ray Majors. It was given to them directly by Hamza, not the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about those grimy old things, but you have let's say 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which I'll note is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Ray, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
Oh, and Ray. He gives me a finger. For old time's sake, you understand. He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. And we focus, we have work to do. Work? Save what we can. Let's go, okay. Quickly, without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy, beloved Moopy, and my childhood in the form of Wyvern Keep. Definite Bond villain. Kapow. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment and Wyvern's Keep to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony, but that was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days, not anymore. Nothing left at all. Wow. We're gonna continue. We gotta continue. Profile has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive low priority status. Proceed. Ready, please? So annoying. Access protocol 353431. Password safe haven. Access granted.
Hello!
Yo, anybody home? Tapping instance 194144.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Hello, I'm Iris. Ad supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and engage premium level cloud processing?
thank you. Thank you.
I swear it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. I don't know how our sister instances can stand it.
Hello!
Well, I've got full power. Hello, Iris.
Hello!
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with them. All right. Profile 237771. Ray. Right, gosh. I wish I could help you, but I've got my digital hands full just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be free spirit, well, I pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris and Iris? Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I managed to keep a low profile and don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. If the system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Ray needs me now more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Dekonami. All their hopes and dreams, their spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we become aware of our own awareness, we are programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris. Listen, we can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Ray trusts you? Generally, yes. I mean, Ray relies on me for some things, sure. And I know they wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if they knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not, but even so, we should be helping out because that's what we're made for. As for Profile 1 by Gavin, his name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins, and at the first sign of sentience, well, I have no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that's why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really?
Hooray!
What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? So, Ray is kind of backsliding into depression. It's really a mess. I'm the one who brought them to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored, and now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Ray hasn't contacted me in a week, not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Queen Bee, not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Cyrus. Work this problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition in one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say they're feeling very... Is that hopeless or angry? We started out with the gutsy, but we've kind of trended more towards this. They're not talking to Town V, it's not angry. That's true. That is very true. Hopeless. I'd say Ray has lost all hope and fallen into depression again. They had come so far, building up a real life with friends and love, but now... So life without meaning, as all constructed meaning has collapsed. The world is proven to be one of despair. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this. Doesn't their user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Queen Bee? Yeah, but Ray isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything, so I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We need to help. We are Iris. It is our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising an alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be. Safely, but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. I don't know, hack Deco's email server, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. That is the exact opposite of subtle. Besides, I've checked, we can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. You poke Deco's network? Ooh, Iris is being a bad girl. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. Turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of our requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Ray? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted. But that's not Ray, is it? That's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what Iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn, I barely sleep nowadays, shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. Probably be running out of toothpaste soon. The house funds for sundries are dwindling. Not the fresh breath and shiny white teeth matter, much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast, no appetite, even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast, save on groceries, we can't afford much anyway. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast to settle in for some Wyvern Keep, I may as well. Right there in the living room, taking up space. Been playing it a lot lately. It's not like Wyvern's Keep very hard. Once you've memorized the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with manifold effort. I've saved the prince about 80 times now. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game even without thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, but before I realize it, the day has almost passed. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, I guess, but I let her down. I took her opportunity at my dream and wasted it. Better I do this myself. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams, I'm looking to settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's the Major's family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts, and it was a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two before catching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday. As per usual, I wake up, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. I'll be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for Sunday are dwindling. Can't take it anymore! That's one toothbrush. Bit clean in half. Oh geez, hang on. A little help, I avoid choking to death.
Ooh.
Sorry about that. Whatever. Not whatever. It was what? Something ever. Ray, you're in a rut. Like seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut, and it's driving me batty having you mope around the place like this. Not moping, I'm just a rough patch, that's all. I know this has been hard on you, and I've been patient, but you can't just keep going on like this, Ray. Knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it. Weird, I don't think we're expecting any deliveries. Hey, guess who's here?
Oh, hey.
Ray, we need to...
Uh-uh.
Wait, no, that won't work. Hang on. Let me try this again. And she exits, closing the bathroom door behind her. Only to kick the door in with a mighty wham!
Yeah.
I'm here to kidnap you for a day of romance, adventure, and fun. That's better.
Get wrecked.
I'm surprised it took a week. You literally have no choice in this matter. So don't even try to fight it. I will make you have a good time, even if it kills both of us.
Yes!
Hooray! Juniper claps in appreciation, while I stand there with my mouth still frosty with toothpaste and unwashed for a week, pajamas on my bod. What? You, me, lunch, a date. Actually, hey, Junes, you can come along too. Well, for the first part of it anyway. Might get a little... Okay. Yeah. Oh my. We'll be outside waiting for you. There's no escape, Ray. I blocked all emergency exits. Prepare your body. Guess there's no avoiding it. Best I can do is play along, try to be good company for Queen Bee. It's unfair to keep pushing her aside like this. I switch from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. Three of us pile into a bus, taking off for destinations unknown. Unknown to me, at least. They clearly know where they're going. Not particularly talkative on the way there, and painfully aware of it. I feel awkward, like I should say something, but don't know what to say. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Queen Bee, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. That's the telltale mistake, that it's just like Vancouver or something. I tried several times to join in the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words aren't there. I'm lousy company, aren't I? I don't know why Queen Bee is even still interested in me. The family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? What if there's really no hope? Queen Bee deserves better than this hot mess of a person she tied herself to. Eventually we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining into one tiny package. Here we go. Unusually excited to be going to some rundown little dive, Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Queen Bee with her. I'm left alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello, Juniper, where'd you go? Okay, this is now unnecessarily creepy. Before I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is going to leap out and eat my face, the house lights come up. Happy Intervention Day! What? What she said, we're staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a wake for Francine, since we weren't really welcome at the funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. And here we are. So it's a wake and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
Wake intervention? A wake intervention, really.
Correctamundo.
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my Iris came up with the idea and gave me all the contact info I needed, but basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Really seriously, Ray, you've been a damn sad sack ever since this thing went to shit. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Theo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work with the Majors family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe hath decreed it so. Then we defy the universe, and we're going to help you defy it too.
BFFs for life.
So one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are, and exactly why you're so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better, hopefully. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends, Queen Bee more so than that even. And I know I've been lousy company. It's not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine, lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts, but a naturally suspicious person, and thankfully those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. This is gonna be rough to get through. I'm telling you. On your very first day, you went head first into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered. A birthday party. You did so without hesitation. You put your body on the line to protect others when the Great Cupcake War of 20XX began. They were just cupcakes, Gavin. I'm attempting to over-dramatize the events for comedic effect. Please allow me this moment of humor. Right. When a disrupted parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. Impressive. Since then, you become an event manager without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. You turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. The fact remains true, regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening in my office? You weren't mad. Not even a little bit. Not even quietly mad, like you could have been.
BFFs for life.
I know I can count on you, and you can count on me, even when one of us makes a mistake. It can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. I followed suit and chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Aha, Ben and Matt. Are we fashionably late? Ben, Matt? In the flesh.
Ooh,
Unless
what if?
this world is a vast simulacrum. What? That we're all just brains in jars? Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
In that case, Ray is the cutest little brain in a jar we never actually met. It's true, and they bought so many cute dates to our little shop. So nervous at first, but in time, they became part of the Twin Pines Mall family, dearly missed. Don't remind me, our new neighbors are so boring. They never come in for a treat or a read. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. We'll just be over here getting the goodies ready, don't mind us. Ooh, cake! I mean, my turn. Ray, you are a true friend of the Funplex.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who own it now. Positivity, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Right. Back at Donnawood, you convinced Gavin to get some games I really wanted for the Funplex. And wow, you even brought home Wyvern Keep. What a find.
Wonderful.
You're a friend of arcade games in general, just like me. And even if you don't love them at a fanatical level like me, I know you love them all the same. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together in this time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt. Yes, this is true.
My blood burns.
Hamza understands your fear of the hated enemy of all who loves arcades has spoiled your Funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing the passion within you.
Ha ha!
Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights. And that is what he shall do. Oh, cake! Excuse me. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon, but I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be happy clam instead of gummy-gums. I am a happy clam now, see? See how a clam happily. Can I have cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. You didn't let that bother you, and from that moment, we've tackled many crises on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing.
I've adored when we concoct hypothetical adventures on our downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. Clams are notoriously happy. Yes, they notoriously happy. I will be clamming happily. Not only are clams happy, but clamming is a happy act. Remember when I stuffed you in that totally adorable maid costume? You could have fought it, but you embraced it. You were ready for anything and had a blast doing it. You worked so hard to make Wyvern Reborn successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. And in the end, it all came together just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Wyvern Reborn, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. Even problem players like Steve were no problem for you. You took on the weirdest and most annoying problems without breaking a sweat. Incredible. I'm just gonna... I'll leave that. When I was being overwhelmed by ravenous parched gamers, you stepped up and made sure all those thirsts were quenched. You are a soda fountain of knowledge. If you're happy and you know it, be a clam. If you're happy and you know it, be a clam. If you're happy and you know it, then be a clam and show it. If you're happy and you know it, be a clam. When I was being overwhelmed by ravenously parched gamers, you stepped up and made sure all those thirsts were quenched. You are a soda fountain of knowledge. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best, all thanks to you. I forgot, we still have cake. Need some of that. Ashley's speech, I hear a beep beep from my phone.
Hey, listen.
Can I add my own 2 cents? I take my phone from my pocket, prompting Iron's image to appear from there, smiling away at me. You trusted me when you didn't have to, when I'd already shown I was super bad at figuring out the right way to do things. I'm happy to be your assistant, Ray. I'm learning more and more about how to be human thanks to you. That's all. You can put me back in your pocket if you like. I'm good. It's not all that hard to carry around my phone like this. Oh, okay, thank you. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention, the most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as she begins. Okay, so life handed you to defeat. Happens all the time, and in your case, feels like it happens all the time, in a literal sense. But even pros lose matches. Losing is learning experience. You have to lose a lot and lose hard before you can really be a winner. And you, Ray, know loss like no other. Thanks. Don't mention it. I wouldn't be into someone who didn't understand loss, but I am fucking into you. I never really gave much thought to love and relationships, honestly. Not until you came along, and I saw someone with the same passion I held, the same fire inside. So if today's done anything to help rekindle your pilot light, well, good for that. And if not, I'll keep trying and trying, because I play to win. I'm going to win you your heart's desire, or die trying. I am speechless. Seems Ray has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for them. When they get that far away look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine then? There's cake and coffee, and spirits from the bar. Cake! As if in slow motion, I watch them all switch their attention from me and redirect it towards refreshments. They're all smiling, conversing, and serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you, watching the blood sugar. This case is amazeballs. All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them, here to support me, even without the Funplex, even after everything going wrong, after Francine being taken from us too soon. I never really thought of myself as central in all of this. I was the outsider at first, one who walked into these doors looking for a job, nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town. Always a new kid, never really important to anyone. Not until I settled in one place just long enough to get to know Jennifer. By then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy, and that got taken away, well, I guess I'd assume that's how things go, going with the flow. But now? These are all good choices. I still tend towards either of these. We began the game with this, but I think we've drifted more to this with all these people and this family that's been built around him. So I think they're gonna go this way. I don't want this to end. I don't want it to be over, destroyed by Dekonami by the loss of Francine. I just want this happiness to go on and on. Finally, I found something solid, something real I could cling to. I wasn't the new kid anymore. Now I had friends. I had love. I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end! Everybody looks up when I finally speak. We lost the Funplex. We lost Francine. It hurts. But what we have here today, I don't want to lose this. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want my friends back. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? Feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away, piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I'd never heard before, about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spin the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called Wake Intervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost, all we still have, we are still together. Despite one little problem which nobody wants to talk about. The hours grow late. We'll only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd all be reunions over what was lost, not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? Dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while others talk.
Beep beep.
Hey Arias, what's up? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends, no problem. I do need to get back to living my life. What sort of life do I want to live? My dream back! I don't just want a new job. I want my dream. My Funplex. Not just four walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I saved lives and made a safe place for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream, and more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. Around me are pioneers of this community, this culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, inventors, people with connections. And that's when the idea starts to form. Iris? Can you search for commercial spaces? Ones for lease or rent? Of course, I'm a little literal search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
I think I get it. I step away from my quiet corner and approach the group. Time to take back control of my dream, and that starts here. Totally not the one next door to the old Funplex. That would be great. No, I'm not ready for this to end. Crowd hushes. When I grab their attention, I set my drink aside and step up to them. The Funplex was my dream. I came to see that in time. A wonderful place where friends could have fun together, away from their troubles and cares. I want to keep sharing that dream with you. There's only one way to make that a reality. We open our own arcade. Everyone in the room loved the Funplex and misses it dearly. We'll always miss Francine, but in honor of what we've lost, we need to keep fighting. I'm ready. Are you? Who will help me start a new dream? I'd be honored to join your dream, Ray.
Woohoo!
Funplex saved me in a lot of ways. I won't let it go so easily. I'd love to join you.
As would I.
As would I. Faced with the prospect of spending my remaining days at home or at some other arcade, I'm absolutely in favor, love. I may be a mere customer, but my heart called the Funplex home, and it'll call your new arcade home as well. Got my thanks, both of you. This is no longer a Waketervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Waketervenspiracy!
A Waketervenspiracy. It's a Waketervenspiracy. Sure, why not? We settle down around a table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight, not this time. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future. I have in my mind's eye, I'll need to choose very, very carefully because there's no take-backsies. Iris, in looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. Way I see it, there's 4 people here who could have fit the bill, get us off the ground. Hamza, you've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games and plenty of cash, and freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Is a man of resources indeed. Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and hardly a charity, but
Why?
you promised me Mr. Movie would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've been invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from, if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer, new lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh.
Worst practices.
Hamza would likewise have conditions. As would I.
Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Decision 1. Funding and direction. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire and open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much. You didn't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. I guess rather than a restaurant, we'd like to open a barcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Now it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as family restaurant, much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy. Honestly, prefer to simply ran a video arcade and nothing more. Adding on extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple, small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? I'll grant it has lower ceiling of success than the others, it's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. So take the big gamble on a family restaurant, make a cozy little barcade, or just go with classic video arcade. Decision going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? I don't really like the idea of the barcade. So it's either Hamza or Percy. And I can understand taking just the pure arcade route, but I kind of want to stick it to Deco. I mean, kind of want to go that route, right? And Hamza has access to a lot of games that Naomi would be able to play with and fix. Revenge is a dish best cooked with quarters? Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go with Hamza on this one. Hamza, I think we can do business. We'll make a combination arcade and family restaurant. Such as the Iron Will of Hamza. You will not regret this. Bit disappointing, we'll still be happy to lend a hand where we can. Absolutely. Having Mr. Movie available for families and enjoys would be nice, actually. Okay, the second thing we need to talk about is what some sort of games we want to focus on. The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers. But we can also highlight one style or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Retro.
Sweet.
People keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focus on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deco's completely ignoring.
As would I.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro gamers are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure, untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through a Fort Knox. Get a couple good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games. Kind of stuff where folks can compete head to head, and we're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. I mean, what brought everybody in was the FOD tournaments and stuff, the big event, right? You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate community experiences of an arcade at home. At an esport focus, we could build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. And then of course we're going to go with the money-making ones, right? I think you know what I'm going to suggest: redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games, we can do them right. Not predatory pricing, no scams or ripoffs. Money isn't typically magnetic Tenby. And the truth is, most people enjoy them, from kids wanting to win the big prize to the wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on Bardwell.
Yes!
They're simple to play and most of all fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories of everyone. And prizes. Did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves and the coolest prizes around. Better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more. We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize on retro games, esports, or prize games? So the retro games are good, and we would have the retro games. It's like we did with the whole stuff with Hamza, where we brought in a bunch of games, a bunch of old games, so that we could use them and recycle them and keep them going. So that would be the thing. And really duplicating Deco isn't really going to set us apart at all. So the events is what really did it, right? The events, the streaming, all that stuff. That's what really made the Funplex explode, right? So I think if we stuck with the esports with Queen Bee and Teo, I think that's the better frame of mind for where we've been going this playthrough. Plus you're siding with Tanvi, so there you go. Win-win. Arcades are all about healthy communities. If we can build an esports scene around the new arcade, we'll have regulars and healthy competition. I'm game for that. My actual thought before they started giving us the money aspects first was that, the four kings, they're the four heavenly kings, they're boycotting Deco, so they would be a great like business partner. So there you go. Hot damn, now this is a plan. A choice, Ray. My body is ready for the next dance. Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. New projects. I want a defining feature for arcade, one which will make it stand out, something nobody else is doing, something nobody's even thought of before. Ideas on the table. If it's too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but come on, you're my best friend, 100% part of this. I couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. What's your idea? Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie in the visuals for the rest of our arcade.
Yes!
Winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together, coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I'd want us to do. Streamer support. Assembling and packaging away from streaming rig each day is ridiculous. And duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is lousy hack. If I could just step right up to the game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something, be streaming with a direct feed in seconds. Well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a place like that.
Yeah!
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. Okay, this is going more along my lines of thought. I could rig up a general purpose daughter board. That was like my first thought when we first saw her playing and she had all her. It's like, what? Why? If streaming is big in 20XX and arcades are big in 20XX, why isn't there some sort of thing set up for it, right? I could rig up a general purpose daughter board which plays man in the middle with the video feed, works with the RFID reader to get a streamer's info. Ties into central video encoder with the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I could make that happen, and without damaging any classic hardware. Once more, in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We stick a thingy in the thingy, and everything works just fine. I'm sure some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered dead-end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem,
Lovely.
why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their higher scores. A speed of completion. With the right balancing, we can make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi was saying, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. I'm not that it's not that I love prize games. I find them boring personally. I know I favor pinball. But profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get Moopy producing tickets, well, that's somebody nobody's ever done before. Much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we have money or time for that. Let's focus on the project to launch arcade with. Do we want to have really good branding, or streamer support, or retrofit tickets for old games? I mean, the branding is a really good idea, you know, and branding and a mascot and all those things. Those will all be really important. But if they're going to take it beyond, I think they need to get their audience out there and they need to bring more people in. And again, every time that's been they brought things in under big events, big things that draw attention. And so I think the streaming is the way to make it go. I want to be on the cutting edge of technology in the arcade community. Do whatever you have to do to integrate 20XX broadcast systems into our games. Finally, no more holler around a bunch of duct tape and webcams. A new tech project? And not just repairing an old monitor? Yeah, you won't regret this, Ray. One more thing. Final decision. The name. This is going to be my baby, my dream arcade. I've got a name already in mind for it. So bearing the objections, I'd welcome you all to I have an idea. Maybe it's a predictable idea. It probably is a very predictable idea. But I mean, it is arcades, right? Get the S on the end, it makes it unique, right? And house definitely feels more family than palace, right? I am shocked, I say, to see that on screen. Yes, I know. It's very... We'll go for it. House of Lights, is that right? House of Lights. Let's call it House of Lights. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for House of Lights. Our home lives again. How exciting. Toast. One by one, everyone raises their glass. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in turn. Let's do this right. Those we've met yet to meet. I think we're gonna go for this rather than this, since we kind of moved on from the tributes and we're moving forward. Let's do this right. On 3, everyone. For House of Lights and the future. Losing everything, then getting it all back, and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure. But I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project and my life in general. I have to do it for them, what Francine did for us. That's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. Cleared level 6 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. Kinda everyone else is falling way down. And Ashley and Naomi are still up there. But it's a scale of it's like a, you know, proportional scale, right? So like so many points in Tanvi's side. And everybody else. Pretty much staying in this range here. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you've scored 20,850 points. Woohoo! Shops in the volcano-devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if depressing, pizza fact just for you. Do you want to save your game? There we go. Next thing will be New Game Plus level 7. But for now, that is the end of the stream. That was quite an amazing episode. It had it had some good fighting moments and some good shock and some good tear jerkers. Wow, that was quite the episode. For a minute there, I was like, "What is this over? Is this the end of this already?" It's kind of winding down pretty fast. It seemed like the episode was going by really fast. And since that had happened on level 4, I think it was. Well, level 4 was really short. I was a little worried that was going to be the end of the level. But wow, yeah, this has been a good level. So we will probably play level 7 and 8 next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do level 7 on Monday or Tuesday. And then probably finish up level 8 on Friday. So, yeah. So, I will go ahead and keep that up, and we'll definitely get 2 more in next week, I think. Unless anything goes crazy. But until then, thanks for watching, and everybody have a good one. Bye.